Auto Club Speedway, Fontana, California. The Camping World Truck Series is ready to take the 2-mile for qualifying. For Kyle Busch.
Larry, I got to ask you, we're going to be following Kyle, first 13 races of this year. And again, last year we were just so impressed with what he was able to pull off and accomplish. Can you imagine what's going through his head every time he rolls into these racetracks, at least early in the season? Because he dominated so much in everything he got into last year. How does it affect you if for some reason the competition has stepped up and you're not as dominant, if you can't pull those wins off? How does that affect you? I'm just wondering, because again, I know we used to, go into racetracks with Darrell, and we were, had won there, and the year before we'd won before that. That when somebody beat you, you felt like, okay, what did I do wrong? Well, and sometimes you start doubting whether or not it was good. Was it good enough, or did we over-engineer something?
Well, honestly, the only thing that beat him at the Daytona 500 was what someone else calls, because I don't know if anybody was going to beat Kyle Busch in that 500.
I think you're right. Colin Braun for Roush Fenway Racing. Started 6th and finished 9th here last year in his California debut. He was 15th in practice for this race.
The last time he was out qualifying at Daytona about a week ago, he just put a whipping on him by over a half a second, over a mile and a half faster than Matt Crafton in that qualifying run down at Daytona. He was 15th quickest in that final practice.
He's first fastest now. He just jumped to the top of the leaderboard with a funny 42.100, Mike.
That's about 9/10 quicker than what he ran in that final practice yesterday.
And it's half a tenth faster than Todd Bodine.
And Mike Bean, the crew chief on this operation, told me that was one of the things that they were a little bit concerned with, was that tire rule. Was they had been on those tires so much, and they only had one set of tires to run, so maybe they never got a chance to make a good qualifying effort, or the car at that, or truck at that time when he did block it off, didn't have the grip they needed to be able to put the speed down that shows the difference between today and yesterday.
He's going to go ahead and run this second lap. He actually picks it up just a little bit. I think we also need to clarify that tire rule. They give you 4 sets. Now you can put them on and take them off. If you run a set 40 laps in practice, you can still use them in the race. Not that you'd want to.
Right.
That's just all you have to work with.
And Mike, that was Colin Braun. If you had one end of the racetrack that you would like to have been able to work on a little more, which end would it be?
I don't know. That was a pretty good run for the number 6 Colin Freight Ford F-150 truck. I mean, we were wide open the whole both laps there, so that was pretty much all we had. I feel like we got a really good truck for the race. I thought that was going to be a pretty good qualifying time, but apparently Ricky went out there and just demolished it. So, I guess we'll see what happens in the race. It'll be fun tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
He's been watching our old buddy Carl Edwards. He took those sunglasses off when we interviewed him. I like that. Look him in the eyes when he talks to us.
Kyle Busch from the pole becomes the only driver to win a pole and race at the same track in all 3 of NASCAR's National Touring Series. Here's the way they'll line up tomorrow on Fox. Coming up here on Speed, NASCAR Sprint Cup qualifying.
Fox Sports presents the Camping World Truck Series. Hollywood and San Bernardino providing the perfect backdrop as the trucks will be racing at 170 miles per hour, and you have a front row seat.
100 laps, 200 miles, and the San Bernardino County 200 is underway.
I just got to tell you, I'm betting Larry. I said, Larry, that 51 truck will be coming across the start-finish line when the rest of them are coming off turn 4.
And there's a good chance he may be coming on the apron, because he will want to run on the apron here. No out of bounds like at Daytona last week.
3 wide off turn 2. And no surprise, big wide racetrack.
Yeah, and the reason we say that is because his qualifying speed was a lot faster than anybody else's. We know how he likes to get after it, so he's got it on go, man.
3.5 tenths faster than Johnny Benson, a mile and a half an hour faster in qualifying.
And to no surprise, Kyle Busch will lead the first lap from Ron Hornaday and Colin Braun. Matt Crafton, that bright yellow truck with the green hood, side by side with the 20-year-old Colin Braun.
But that's the beautiful thing about this series, Mike. It's a great opportunity for young drivers to come in and be competitive, to be able to race up front. It's also an opportunity for drivers like Ron Hornaday, who's much older, 50 years old, and able to compete in this series as well. So you have the beginning and the ending of careers.
And here's where we're really setting the stage for this strategy. With 19 laps to go, I'm going to say within the next 5 to 6 to 8 laps, these trucks will have to come to pit road. And what will they do? We know they have to have fuel.
So that'll move Colin Braun up to the lead in that Conway Freight Ford, leading for the first time today.
Now, we talked about Mike Skinner got those right side tires, Matt. Here he's back on pit road because he has to put the fuel in here with 8 laps to go.
Remember, back on lap 78, Skinner came on the radio, told his team he felt like that he had completely worn out that right front tire. Hence the tires, and now coming in for the fuel. Skinner's away.
Colin Braun is this race's third different leader. He's only the second driver to lead under green. Otherwise, it's been a Kyle Busch day.
Now, where he's going to be in trouble is when he makes his green flag stop. We got a report that he's completely lost third gear, and that transmission is in big trouble. So that's where he has to really careful.
Well, where he's in really big trouble is Kyle Busch is right behind him. So even no matter what, Kyle's going to chase him down and get the lead back here pretty quickly.
8 laps to go. There to 7 to go.
Now you see Mike Skinner in the 5 truck. Right now he is 1 lap down because of being on pit road twice. Now that was a pass for the lead Kyle Busch just made on Colin Braun. That's the difference in those trucks right there.
Kyle Busch, 3 to go.
And he has a 5-second lead over Colin Braun. Colin Braun, the 6 truck, out of fuel here with 3 laps to go. And he did make it to pit road.
Yeah, and 81, I'm pretty sure, is going to be able to coast all the way here. He comes onto the apron down here to the entrance of pit road, so I think we're going to be okay there.
He's going to make it.
So that will move Todd Bodine into the 2nd spot. And how about it, Chad McCumbee in that 07 truck up to 3rd as we're coming to 2 laps to go.
And TJ Bell to 4th.
Race, and as we look with Phil Parsons, Jeff Hammond, Chris Myers here at the unofficial results. Kyle blowing them away. How about Max Pappas from Italy with a top 10 finish?
Great top 10 run for that road racer. But Chad McCumbee's team, their best ever finish, SNS Greenlight Racing, led by Bobby Dada with a top 3 finish.
Yeah, you back through the steer out there. Johnny Benson started on the front row. Not the day he was looking for. Mike Skinner, I think the new rules kind of got both these guys a little bit of trouble.
Dennis Setzer, 26th. So where Brian Scott wound up, 29th. And again, Kyle Busch, who was frustrated with that 2nd place run at Daytona, gets some revenge here and is your points leader.
Well, as you see right there, Kyle's not going to be running a full circuit as far as the Truck Series is concerned. So early on, you got to believe that Todd Bodine is once again, he's on pace to try to repeat as a champion. But Matt Crafton has already said it's going to be my year, Phil. So I mean, I think we're already starting to see a little bit of that kind of come into play.
He had a great season last year, finishing the top 5 in points.